Welcome back to College Football Addiction. Drake C. Toll locked on Big 12, talking a little bit of Colorado football, Coach Prime, and social media, maybe some of the ills of that platform that we call Twitter, X, whatever. Video today presented by BetUS. We'll talk about them in a little bit. But Drake, did Coach Prime get fooled this last week or so on social media?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, this is a word to the wise out there. Stay off of Twitter the best you can, or don't respond to random tweets from random accounts. This is from a Wesley Steinberg, who is notorious for being a parody. There is no real Wesley Steinberg that I can find who's an actual NFL reporter, and he started his Twitter account in March of 2021, has gained 18,000 followers, and tweeted out that Colorado quarterback Shedeur Sanders has no interest in playing for the hashtag Browns or hashtag Titans. This could have major NFL draft implications. Shedeur's father, Deion Sanders, will demand his son goes to a big market team, and then continues on saying that there is no way that he would go to those two organizations. And Deion Sanders, instead of just letting this slide, letting a parody account be a parody account, he DMs him and says, "Stop lying. Have some class and professionalism about yourself, my man." He even tweets out another thing saying these allegations and rumors are not true, this reporter is incorrect, and then quickly deletes that tweet because immediately Twitter started thrashing Deion Sanders for responding to a fake account. So this is a classic example of please watch who you're quote tweeting or responding to on Twitter. And for Deion Sanders, who lives on social media in a very different way from Lane Kiffin, it seems like more and more college football coaches are trying to seem cool and active on social media. This was just a very interesting look. Now, I've said on your show, I've said on my show that I am foot in mouth about Deion Sanders. I was questioning 6 months ago if he could be a head coach at the Power 5 level, Power 4, I should say level, and could win at Colorado. He did that. He proved me wrong. He proved a lot of people wrong, and I've apologized for my takes previously on Deion Sanders. But in a moment like this, my message is very clear. Deion, no, don't. Just don't even respond. There's no way an NFL organization is going to look at these messages, at these tweets from a random account and see them as gospel. And responding to something like this never puts yourself in a good situation, never paints you or your son in a solid light. This is a very interesting situation where Deion Sanders makes a mistake on social media, and then you see what kind of repercussion might happen, because I don't know. You shouldn't do this. It's never a good look, again, when you get duped by a burner account.
They say that they would never decline teams. They wouldn't, we wouldn't say we want to go to this team, that team. Do you think that though Coach Prime and Shedeur kind of say like, man, we'd really like to avoid this destination, that destination? Like, what's your personal take on this one?
It sounds so odd saying it, today in January of 2025 that Deion Sanders is humble, and people will hear that and they'll say, well, no, he's not. I mean, the dude takes ad deals and he's Aflac or Geico or whatever it is and doing. I mean, he's prime time and Coach Prime. He wears the shades, but more and more of what we've gotten from him at the podium, whether it was with Kalani Sitake during that bowl game with BYU, or in the middle of the season where he's talking about his sons or Travis Hunter, or his reactions after the Heisman ceremony, the dude is an excellent marketer. He's really good at branding, and I don't think that he is cocky enough or a D-bag enough that people should avoid Deion Sanders as a good human being. And that was the storyline in August when he was popping off reporters and things seemed like they were falling apart in Boulder, is Deion Sanders is too cocky. He's not humble. He's the kind of guy who lets the ego get in the way. But what we've learned, to me, in this last college football season is behind closed doors and even in front of the media, a lot of the time, Deion Sanders is very genuine. And I don't see a situation where his son gets drafted to a team and Deion says no, or Shedeur says no. He has very obviously raised his family right. He's raised a college football program right. The GPA at Colorado has never been so high. The GDP, the entire economy in Boulder is soaring right now because of who Deion Sanders is. He's proven to the country you thought he was this cocky Coach Prime, but he's actually a very genuine, strong human being and runs a strong culture and strong program. I think that points toward him being perfectly happy with wherever Travis Hunter or Shiloh or Shedeur end up going in the upcoming draft or in the NFL. I'm not sure if there's a single thing. I would say confidently, without knowing directly from Deion, I would say confidently there is not a football team that he would completely shut out or turn down or say Shedeur is not going to play for you.
I'll get right back to chatting with Drake, but first, make sure that you are betting with BetUS this rest of the playoffs, the NFL playoffs, the NBA, the NHL, whatever you're looking to bet on, you can do it at BetUS. Make sure you're using our code YouTube150 for a 150% sign up bonus on your first deposit. Your next two are at 125%. All of that up to $2,000. BetUS will get you taken care of. It's, again, YouTube150. We appreciate them for their support. I think that sometimes he gets that rap because he interacts with the media so much differently than everyone else.
Yeah.
He's not really here for the coach speak BS, right? Coach Prime is so genuine in that way that I feel like he just, when you ask him one of those typical reporter coach speak, hey coach, what'd you think? You know, they lose by 40 and they say, what do you think about your effort tonight? And he just gives it to you like it is. Like he just doesn't have time for the BS, for lack of better words. He just shoots so straight that I think people take that shooting straight, that abruptness as, oh, he hates the media. And that's not really the case. You know, asked him last year, man, Coach Prime, you know, and you mentioned back in August, Coach Prime, what did you think about last season? Well, we sucked, man. Like, and so like he says that and he's straightforward and people are like, oh, well, this guy's a jerk. And it's like, no, you just asked him a stupid coach speak question because our media, like the media is just, we're in this world of just, nobody asks thought provoking. Nobody asks deeper questions. They just want the clickbaity title of Coach Prime saying something, you know, off the cuff or whatever. And yeah, he's just, they mistake his being genuine and his no time for BS as abruptness or harshness. And that's where I think they misunderstand him.
Well, shocking as it may be, ESPN and the national media has not painted a fair light for Deion Sanders. I know that's crazy. ESPN doing something that is amoral over the course of all of college football and toward college football fans. But when you turned on the TV last year, it was about the downfall, that post-Stanford game, about how is Deion Sanders cut out to be D1 material or to be a D1 head coach. The more controversy there is surrounding Deion, the better for these TV networks. They want to paint him as someone who can't get out of his own way, and he is so boisterous that there is no winning at Colorado. There is no culture at Colorado. So when Deion starts to do normal, good stuff, it seems to be overall overlooked, and ESPN doesn't want to report on the positives that are coming out of that football program. And of course, you know, I get a push notification and see that, you know, Deion Sanders deletes tweet in response to burner account Wesley Steinberg, because what we want to do is start talking about the controversy that Deion might be surrounded in. Now, should he have tweeted at or DM'd this random Twitter account that doesn't even exist and is a fake reporter? No, don't do that. Please don't do that. But what we continue to get is this controversy surrounding Deion Sanders that is truly unfair and is pushed by national media because it drives clicks. And you and I have had this conversation on your show before. When it comes to driving clicks, talking Deion Sanders, do it in a positive way. Let's actually give the guy a fair shake. And certainly there are regional media outlets that are doing so, and smaller analysts that are trying to give him his fair due. ESPN's not one of those. The major media is not one of those. And now here he goes making a minute mistake, and it's overblown.
Back to Shedeur for just a minute, we'll wrap up. Where do you think he fits best? Where do you think he ends up? Or what would be the best case scenario, maybe is the better way to ask it?
Well, I want to pitch out there too, TJ, that there have been other burner accounts that are pretending to be national media saying that Shedeur Sanders is not grading well, or that NFL scouts don't see him being a first-round draft pick. I think he's certainly a top 10 pick, one of the first or second quarterbacks off the board of this draft class. And with that, maybe the Giants are taking a stab at that third or fourth pick with a Shedeur Sanders. I wouldn't be surprised if he's top 5. He's a program-changing, organization-changing kind of guy. And I do believe Deion Sanders is at Colorado next season, even without his son there playing quarterback. But what if, you know, he's able to have a hand in his NFL career in New York? There's a much longer conversation when that day comes. And I believe Shedeur Sanders is still a top 5, top 10 overall pick and would thrive in a market like New York. You're a Tampa Bay guy, right? I know you said you went to the game on Sunday, the Tampa game on Sunday. You see him in a Bucs jersey, I guess.
Dude, I would flip out if he came in a Bucs jersey. But I will say, former Big 12 guy, I am in love with Baker Mayfield, right? Yeah. In the most wholesome way possible. So I don't want to lose Baker. Give me Hunter though. There's no way he falls because the Bucs are going to the playoffs. But we won't have an opportunity to get Shedeur, and with a quarterback, probably don't need to. But if there was any way we could trade up for Hunter, I would sign up for that 7 times a week. So. No doubt. Drake, where can people follow you? Where can they get more of your content?
Yeah, at LO Big 12 and at Drake C. Toll on Twitter and wherever you find your podcast with Locked On Big 12.
We will link all that in the description. Thanks, man, for joining us.
Always.
I appreciate you so much for watching this video on college football addiction. If you haven't already, do us a favor, hit that subscribe button. If you loved it, hated it, had questions, had concerns, had complaints, or just thought we were spot on tonight, hit that button for me. We are inching closer to 20,000 subscribers, and we would love if you helped us get there. Appreciate, again, BetUS for their support. Appreciate Drake C. Toll for coming on and chatting with us today. We will talk to you soon here on College Football Addiction.